Tatiana from Love Is Mine France said, I'm leaving with something. I'm leaving with something. She said, I'm not leaving these pods until I have a ring on my finger. And you know what? She succeeded. Tatiana, gorgeous, gorgeous girl, absolute baddie. But coming in, it seems like she was already kind of had baggage, right? Self-proclaimed baggage. She's pushing 40 and she has a child. And I feel like to her, she feels like these attributes make her undesirable. And if we are being honest, kind of when you get to the late 30s, 40s, women are marketed as undesirable and that they need to settle. You know, the age is getting higher. The age is definitely getting higher. But I feel like when people are putting out insults, what comes to mind is 40 and single, right? Single mums also are seen as undesirable in the dating world. So she's kind of got two strikes against her. And then the third strike is that she's divorced. So altogether, if we're looking at things from a superficial sense, it's not going well for Miguel. It's not to say that, you know, every 40-year-old single mum who is divorced damned to the pits of dating hell. So many people in this category do end up remarrying and having great relationships. But in terms of like the misogyny put out in the dating world, this is the rhetoric, right? That this category is undesirable. Lucky for Tiana, she's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So her chances are a lot better. But it seems like she's come in being very forthcoming about, you know, her circumstances. But I feel like she's come in not with the, this is my life circumstance, so what, I'm open to having love, I'm open to finding love. It's giving very much, okay, this is my life circumstances, but please overlook them. Please don't reject me because of them. And to be honest, I do think, you know, in terms of her first strong connection with Thomas, I do think he preferred to have someone who didn't have children, even though he had children himself. And she did call out the double standards that single dads have it easier in the dating world. I think they do. I think men generally have it easier in the dating world in general. So, of course, a single dad is going to have a better dating experience than a single mom. That is not to say that there are people who won't actively date them. But I feel like the percentage of women who would date single fathers is higher than the percentage of men who would date single mothers. And even seeing Thomas's interactions versus Tatiana's interactions when it came to the men talking about, oh, but she has a child, that adds a different dynamic, compared to the women who literally swept Thomas's child under the rug, like, oh, he has a child, okay. You know, the difference is very clear. So I do think that, you know, her circumstances did have an impact on her dating experience in the pods. And it was very clear that it was getting to her because she just started to move more and more desperate. And yeah, I just feel like she was I admire the work ethic to some degree. But I do worry that she really just would have got engaged to anyone. Didn't work out with Thomas. She said, okay, next. She's talking to some other guy. The other guy got kicked out of the experiment because he was basically creeping around with some girl in a hotel. Lord. And then her third option, Yannick, she practically begged him to marry her. She was just basically like, pick me or hurry up. Like, I need to know whether you're going to pick me or not. I'm on my last legs. I don't want to leave. I can't do this no more. I'm giving too much to this experiment. Meanwhile, Yannick was always going to pick Tatiana. He was going to, as soon as he heard that she was mixed race, he was sold. I'm not sure on Yannick. I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy, but I don't feel like we saw enough of him. I feel like their relationship and their engagement has been very rushed. And right now, it's just they're just going off physical attraction right now. But it's going well. Tatiana is very lucky that Tatiana has an advantage here because she is Yannick's type. Yannick was very pleased to have a mixed race baddie fiance. You see, he's behaving. This is why I say you gotta be your man's physical type to At least have a filter for the foolishness, because foolishness is gonna come. To have a little filter for it. At least the honeymoon stage you can elongate. But in the trailer, it's looking like his mum doesn't approve of this marriage. So I guess we'll see with that. I do like it now, but for me, it seems very surface level. And the fact that she has a child involved and this marriage engagement is looking very surface level, I'm just kind of thinking how, I'm not sure. I can't see this being long lasting. It just seems like you want to get married. Yes, it's going well, but it just seems like you want to get married, and I just feel like this is just. I'm not really sold on it yet, but we'll see in the next batch of episodes. But yeah, I'm still in two minds whether like I'm impressed by Tatiana's work ethic or whether I'm just like, girl, you did too much and it's a little bit desperate. I gotta hear from you guys. Desperate or determined? And are we here for who she ended up with? Or do you feel like she just would have got engaged to anyone and Yamik it was? I gotta hear from you guys. And also, do we feel like she felt like she had to get engaged to anyone who would get engaged to her because of the categories that because of her life circumstances, because she's pushing 40, because she's a single mother, because she's been divorced before? What do we think? I gotta hear from you guys.